Hi, welcome to the Podvertisement Podcast by the Lobby Studios in Brooklyn. My name is Magic. I'm the founder of Magical Moments, a community and culture creative agency that helps emerging artists with developmental and performance opportunities. I am here with Ursula.
Hey, Magic.
Hey. Please introduce yourself and your business.
My name is Ursula Smith. My business is Rococo Design Interiors and Gifts, located here in Brooklyn at 409 Lewis Avenue.
Nice. Can you tell us how long you've been in business?
I actually started my business legally, like incorporated, April 12th, 1999, but I've been doing it since 1996.
Nice. I love that. So what was the inspiration behind your business?
I don't know. I've been doing it since I was 12 years old. I think I designed my first bedroom at 12, and my mother let me paint. She let me make my own curtains. I made my own bedspread. I think I must be an interior designer. So I guess it started when I was 12. And then when I went to school, I also got into the 17th, 18th, 19th century design, the Rococo, in the Regency period. So that's how Rococo design evolved, because that's like my favorite period.
Nice. I love that. So tell us more about this location that we're at right now.
Okay, so this location came about because after the pandemic, I moved down. Well, actually, after the pandemic, we were down the street at 324 Lewis Avenue, a small space, because I had to shift gears and out of interior design because nobody wanted you in the house at that time. So I opened up the gift shop. But I still have my love for interior design. It's never going to die. So when this space became available, we moved down here and I was able to expand and do the interior designs and the gift shop.
Nice. So tell me about your Brooklyn roots. Like, were you always in Brooklyn? Was your business always in Brooklyn? How did that come about?
Brooklyn chose me. I actually started my business in Atlanta, Georgia in 1999. And then I moved to Turks and Caicos in 2007. And then I moved to New York in 2012. But my intentions were, because I watched too much Sex in the City, I thought I was supposed to be, one of those girls living in the city. But I got the actual harsh reality of the cost of living in New York. So Brooklyn chose me.
Okay, nice. So what made you stay in Brooklyn?
The vibe. I like Brooklyn. The people. I'm here. And the cost of living kept me in Brooklyn, but I do like the people. I found a church right across the street from where I live, and I like everybody in the church. The neighbors, when I walk up down the street, everybody's waving at me, "Hey, flower lady." So now, I don't even have a name. It's just flower lady.
Okay, nice. I love it. Now, let's go back to you being an interior designer and then you starting a gift shop. What influenced your transition from working primarily as an interior designer to your brick and mortar gift shop? And I know you touched on that a little bit, like the pandemic. However, the pandemic is over and you're still here. So give us a little more.
Because these people in Brooklyn would not let me release this gift shop, because my goal was just to come down and do just a full-blown interior design. Everybody was like, no, you have to keep the gift shop. So I had to keep the gift shop. So now that's why we have gifts, have home. So it's Rococo Design, gifts, and interiors. So
as a Black-owned business, you are an entrepreneur because you own this spot. This was your idea come to life. So can you tell us a little bit about what initially inspired you to pursue entrepreneurship in general? So yes, you were an interior designer, but you work for yourself. So what made you make that decision?
I have to go all the way back to Richmond, Virginia. In the 80s, my father, he always said, whatever you do, be the best at it and always have your own. So I guess that's just stuck in my head. And it's like, have your own, be the best. And I think I just strive for that all the time. And I don't care how hard it gets. I just never give up, because at the end of the day, nobody's taking care of me. I'm taking care of myself. So I have to keep pushing forward, because I pay all my own bills. I pay everything. So it's just that whole taking care of yourself. And I think I got it from my father, because he's always kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. God rest his soul, I miss him because I just felt like as long as he was around, every time I had a problem, I would call him and he would just like, all right, just push right through it. And I'm just, I was there and he was there all the time. So now I got to be my own cheerleader.
Yeah.
And push myself. So
that makes sense. Well, shout out to him. I know you've touched on it before, but give it to us in years. How long have you been on your entrepreneur journey?
Ooh, okay. So I would say the early 1990s. I was still working in retail. My background, I actually went to college and I majored in merchandise and kind of switched over to interior design. But I've always been in the home. Even at 16 years old, I was working in a department store called Tall Hammers, and I was working in the home department, doing the display windows and all the displays for the home department. And then after I graduated from college, again, I was in the home division at Linens and Things. I was in their manager training program.
At Lennox?
In Georgia? Linens and Things. Linens and Things in Atlanta, Georgia. You're probably too young to know about that. Linens and Things was before Bed Bath & Beyond. It was exactly like Bed Bath & Beyond, but it was called Linens and Things. I used to be a buyer, a regional director and all that for them. And then I moved into department store management, but still in the home division. I never left the home division. And then, I just got burnt out from the retail, working every weekend, every holiday. I was just over it. And I was constantly calling my father, complaining. He was like, I'm tired of you complaining. Do something about it.
Period.
So, so I can remember my very first client. I just put myself out there. I just started going to restaurants and bars and just talking trash about this and that. I'm a designer, whatever. And this guy was like, well, okay, so what can you do?
Yeah.
To make a long story short, can I tell the story?
Go ahead.
This is like the best story ever. So I remember it was my birthday and we went to IHOP, me and my friends, and I was talking loud. I was like, Atlanta don't know nothing about me. I'm the baddest designer. They don't know nothing, but I was talking trash. Okay. This guy gets up, he gives me his card. He said, little lady, if you think that you all of that, this is your birthday, I heard. When you sober up, give me a call in the morning. And I was like, whatever. So the next day my friend said, you gonna call that guy? And I was like, what guy? It's like, check your purse.
Yeah.
Turns out he was the wide receiver for, I forget the team. I think it was the Jets or something. And so I called him up and he was like, can you come to my house? So I go to his house and he was like, I'm leaving to go on vacation for 2 months. He literally had a crate, a milk crate and a card table in his kitchen, no furniture. He said, tell me how much you need to do this house. I want to come back and I want it done. I said, what do you want? He goes, whatever you think you can do. And that was it. I was like, okay.
Nice.
So, yeah.
You have photos from that moment?
Oh my God. That was 1996, 97, because right after the Olympics. So I might.
Yeah.
I have to dig back in the archives for that one. But it just evolved after that. After I did his place and I ran into a developer and another, I'm always out mixing and mingling, trying to get. So I ran up into a developer in Atlanta and I got a contract to do Home Life Homes where I was averaging 3 or 4 model homes a month there. And then it just like snowballed from there. Then the bottom fell out. What year was that the bottom fell out? It was 2004.
The bottom fell out? What does that mean?
I forget you now. It was 2008.
Oh, when the market crashed.
Yeah, no.
2008, I know about that.
Was that 2008? Because I left in 2007. No, it was a little before. It started
2007, 2008.
But
I was there.
No, it started going down before that because Home Life was bellying up. So, and I just got lucky at the same time. My friend in Turks and Caicos called me and she said, after Home Life was bottoming out, how you say bottoming out? The bottom falling out, whatever. Yes. After that happened, my friend in Turks and Caicos called me. She said, can you come and do this resort in North Caicos. And I was like, what do you mean resort? She says, I said, an entire resort? She's like, yes. I said, okay. I packed my bag. I left Atlanta and never looked back. I moved to Turks and Caicos. I was there for 5 years working on Caribbean resorts.
Nice.
Private residence. And then I moved to New York.
Nice. Okay, so there's a lot of important parts that you touched on. So one, you touched on networking in a sense, like you was always out kind of like hustling. Tell us how important networking is, and then also tell us kind of like your approach to the hustle. That makes sense, because a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur, they want to be on this journey, but they might be shy, or they might not know how to network. Some of them might be a little passive, some might be super aggressive. So kind of give us your story of how you networked and hustled.
Mine's always just kind of fell into my lap, like the incident at the IHOP. Every time I got a job, it just kind of fell into my lap, and I guess I'm kind of lucky, or no, I take that back. I'm blessed and highly favored, because it all just seemed to fall into place everywhere I went. If I said something, it just kind of fell in my lap. When and it happened a lot in Atlanta, because like the incident at IHOP, then I was at another event. My accountant had invited me to an event where I met a whole bunch of R&B artists, and I ended up doing like the guy from Jagged Edge House, 112, and just different people. It was always out of the social event. So you have to get out. And I know some people hate that word hustle, but if you ain't hustling, it's not going to happen for you. You just can't sit. It's not going to come knocking on your door. Knock, 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 knock. Job. No. You got to get out. You got to make it happen. And I tell people that I work with some people now that they want to do businesses, and I'm like, it ain't gonna fall in your lap. You gotta put in the work. You have to put the work in.
For sure. So I have a question. When you was out like networking, did you have business cards, or were you just in conversations with these people? Like, what was your exact approach?
Well, back in the day, we didn't have all this stuff that y'all have.
Well, that's why I said business cards.
So that's why
y'all have printers.
So yes, I always kept business cards in my. They were in my pocket, in my purse. I could pull one out of my ear if I had to. But I was not going to go anywhere without a business card, because like I said, I was on my grind. Because when I got to Atlanta after I left Limits to Things, I was like, okay, I can't go back. It was no turning back. It's not going back.
Nice. So tell us about the next step. Like after you network with someone, obviously it's the follow-up. So what was your approach to the follow-up? Were you following up directly after? Were you waiting a week? Were you calling them as a follow-up? Were you setting an appointment? Like what was that approach?
I'm very aggressive. I had a client one time in Atlanta call me a bugaboo. And I was like, what's a bugaboo? He said, you bug me, boo. He said, I'm going to give you the job. Just stop calling me. So I guess I'm just too aggressive. I never let up. If somebody tell me, they want to get their house done, they might not want it done for 6 months, but I'm calling them the next day just so they don't forget me. Like I have a client right now. I dropped them an email every month, let them know that I want to stay on their radar. You have to, and you know what another good thing is? Word of mouth. You have to ask, like the people that I do houses for. New York was a whole different monster for me. Like,
tell us about it. And that's the next question.
Yeah, New York is a beast, and that's true. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, because things came easy for me in Atlanta. Atlanta was the Black Mecca, so everywhere I went there was parties and there was Black social events, and I get to New York and it's totally different. So I didn't know what to do. So I knew nobody when I moved to New York, so I just started listing myself on all of these interior design websites. One was called Thumbtack, and the other one was House. So I got a phone call from a lady, and I ended up doing her house on Billionaires Row, up on 57th. Yeah, up on 57th and 7th, up there. And when I did her house, I posted it on House. And when I tell you...
What's House?
House. Okay, House is spelled Houzz. It is the largest interior design platform website in the world. It's not just in this country, it's around the world, to the point where I've designed some houses, and all of my houses I design is on house, where I had a guy contact me in Russian to ask if he could post a house that I did in a Russian magazine. I was like, first of all, you have to translate this because I don't know what you're saying. So that's how big House is. And House really launched me in New York. I actually won Best of House 2013 to 2023, I think, where they give you these big badges, and then, you know, you get all these awards for being like top designers. And from that, I think it's a magazine called LuxPad magazine, where I was listed like in the top 20 interior designers in New York. So I must give it to House and Thumbtack. So this is what I was telling you. So this lady called me, and I did her house. And that was the first house I did in New York. And I posted it. And from there, like, another lady called me from the Baccarat. She lived in the Baccarat. I don't know if you're familiar with the Baccarat. It is fabulous. And that was actually my favorite. I think that this like my top favorite, because she actually, my personal style is Rococo. So she allowed me to design her house in the Rococo style because that was her style.
Nice.
Now, I don't get clients that's Rococo. And my company is called Rococo because that's my personal style. But yeah, so actually from there, and it just went on and on and on in New York. So I get a lot of people who go on my website and it's like, oh, well, I can't afford you, because they look at my website and it says, you know, Fifth Avenue. It says penthouse, this, that. I'm like, no, it's not about that. I would do a studio and I would do a penthouse. So it's not even about what you see on my website. It's what I've designed for the customer.
Nice. Okay. So the next question, kind of segueing, or not a segue, just diving deeper. So what have been some challenges in starting, launching, and sustaining your business? So for example, staffing, like she mentioned, we used to work together, don't work here anymore. Funding, motivation, or operational hurdles. Like, what has just been the biggest challenges in the whole journey? It could be specific to this shop, or it could be in general.
From day one, it has been nothing but getting funding. I have done everything from the time I started my business on my own. I mean, I applied from one grant after another, never had a grant. I've been in business since the 90s. And when I said I applied for grants, for loans, I had to just wait until I got a job to afford to open up. So I don't know how these people do it, and I don't know if I'm missing something. Everybody always telling me, well, there's plenty of funding out there for Black-owned women businesses. I have applied and gotten one no after another. So whoever's getting these funds and these grants for Black women-owned business, I like to meet them because I ain't seen any. And I definitely wasn't included in any of them. So I would definitely have to say funding for Black-owned businesses, women business.
So funding was just like the biggest challenge.
Yes. Like I'm just, it's like, I feel like I could have been so much farther ahead if I had proper funding. Like I'm always, everything that I do, I'm opening it up with breadcrumbs. Like I open the store up with breadcrumbs. Everything is like, you know, here, like that. But I've never had the whole enchilada.
Okay, that makes sense. So you hear that? Give her some funding. Me too. I'm looking for funding as well. I'm a Black woman. So for our next question, back to the neighborhood, back to Brooklyn, back to where you're making this big impact. How do you want your business to be a positive impact within the legacy of Bed-Stuy Brooklyn?
Oh, that is so easy. The candles and the body products, I don't know if we talked about that, you know, because you used to work here. 98% of the products are by small business owners who do not sell on Amazon. And the other day, Neil and I went through it, and we could not believe how many people I counted that was local. I would say 60% of them was local.
Nice.
60% were local, and 80% of them were Black-owned business. Well,
Nice.
maybe 85% of them was Black-owned businesses. So I feel like if I can keep contributing that way by supporting other people's businesses, people ask me all the time, why do you let people come in your store and they don't pay to be on the shelves? And I'm like, because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there where people are charging me an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And by the time I sell a little bit to do a pop-up, they'll charge $200-$300 for a table.
Yeah.
I only sell $100. I've made nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, prime example, Danielle. All this artwork on the wall is Danielle. This is Danielle. And Danielle is on my wall because I want to feature a Black artist, and she's a Black woman. She actually, this is all her original art pieces. And no, she doesn't pay to be on this wall. We split a commission, but this gives her the opportunity to be somewhere where she doesn't have to like spend a whole lot of money to be featured somewhere. So yeah, I would say supporting, I would like people to say, you know what, she was the best at supporting businesses, and especially Black-owned women businesses.
Nice. I love that.
You should know I supported you.
Yeah.
I know. Can we switch the subject for a second? Because
Switch
it was
to what?
it was. I'm telling you, when you came to me about your business, all I could think of was, here's this young girl. She's invited me to this. I'm going to this little local juke joint, whatever it's going to be. I was so impressed.
Thanks.
And I cannot stress, when I got there, it was this swanky, speak easy, up class. You were the excellent host. It was top notch. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
No, I'm about supporting. I mean, I was right. I was like, I'm not sure what this is all about, but I'm all about the support. So here, let me support this.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised.
Thank you. Yeah, we love to keep elegance around here. Okay, so back to Brooklyn, the legacy, et cetera, et cetera. I have a fun trivia question that I want to ask you. So she's just recently moved to this location less than a year ago. So I want to ask you, do you know which businesses and shops previously occupied this location before you moved in? And then the shop before that, and then the shop before that. So how far back can you go if you know?
One.
Okay.
Cheryl was here for 9 years. Cheryl was here for 9 years with Indigo Style. But a lady came in one day and she introduced herself to me. I can't remember her name. And she goes, I used to have this store. And I said, really? I said, Cheryl was here before me. She goes, no, I was before Cheryl. She said, I had a bookstore here.
Yeah.
So it was a bookstore, then it was Indigo Style, and now me. And Cheryl was here for like 9 years.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. I keep hearing about this bookstore, and I think Peaches, which is a couple shops down, was a bookstore as well. That's what I think I heard that. But when I heard
Peaches
that, I
been
was
there for
like,
19 years though.
maybe. But when I heard that, I was like, well, I thought the bookstore was right there. So I don't know if it was one big bookstore. I don't know how that would happen, or if it was just two different ones, but that's good.
Well, there's this customer who comes in all the time. Her name is Justine, and she loves to give me the history of this block. She said back when she was growing up, it was called the Avenue, and everybody was all the business was Black owned. Everybody was friendly. It was barbershops, restaurants, bookstores. She said it was a thriving Black mecca on this block. And I just feel like that's coming around again because we have Brooklyn Tees, we have Rococo Design, we have Peaches, we have, which I am the president of SOLA, which is the shops on Lewis Avenue, Merchant Association. So within that Merchant Association, we have Ashaka, who's around the corner on Stuyvesant, but she's part of this. Deborah for Oh My Hair. And then we have Bezos. We have BM, what is it? BIM. We have BIM, who just opened up a bookstore. Then we have Mom and Pop. We have the Made to Print. We have the amazing, if you guys haven't been, y'all better go to that oyster bar. Saloon is the best. It's not, I'm not an oyster eater, but I am a cheese head. They have the best cheese. And then you have Secret Garden. Did I miss anybody? I said Mom and Pop. I think that covers everybody, right? Yeah, I think I got them all. Yep. So
nice. Well, that's a nice thanks. Nice information, nice plug. We love to hear it. Yeah, that's pretty much all the questions that I have for you pre-recorded. But I do want to ask, is there anything else that you want us to know about interior designing, entrepreneurship, being a Black owned woman entrepreneur business? Anything that you'd like to share with us, me, the audience, Podvertisement, Brooklyn?
Yes.
Anyone?
Well, I've noticed that when I open up the shop here, I would like this community to understand how interior design works. Like, get more involved in their homes. Like, come in, talk to me, set up consultations, because 99% of my clients are Manhattan clients, and I open up here. I want to service my community, so I want them to come in, talk to me, ask me about their homes, set up consultations. Don't be afraid. Don't look at my website and say, "Oh my God, I can't do that." I mean, she's done penthouses, she's done all this. No. Come talk to me. Right. Let's schedule a consultation. Let's do your house.
Nice. I love that. So if you need any redecorating, hit her up. What's your location again?
409 Lewis Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.